Hey guys, welcome to In My Opinion with Rex and BigT. This is our special results
Of Brooklyn.
episode. Yeah, this is our first of two results podcasts that we're going to be doing this week. This is fully covering the results of last night's NXT Takeover Brooklyn 2.
Yeah.
It actually, all in all, was a fairly good takeover. I mean,
Yeah.
it had its matches that kind of made me just yawn. But I mean, all in all, it was actually a really eventful pay per view. Well, I mean, before we get to the big news, let's start. First match of the night.
Austin Aries versus No Way
Yep,
Jose.
Austin Aries versus No Way Jose, and Austin Aries, as we predicted, came out on top.
Yep.
But you know what? Not without a good showing from No Way Jose.
Yeah.
I mean, that
he
match.
impressed me.
Yeah, that match was actually pretty darn good. And for a second, we thought Jose might have gotten it. For a second, it looked like they were going to give it to him, and then they just spun it around and ended with the last chancery, got him to the tap out, and it was done and over with.
Yeah.
I mean, all in all, I'd probably give that match, I don't know, what do you say, about 3.5 out of 5, maybe 4?
Yeah.
Round about there?
Yeah, around that.
So then after that, we followed up by the Divas debut. We had Billie Kay versus the debuting Ember Moon.
Ember Moon was pretty good.
Ember Moon was really good. She was pretty good.
Her finisher, though.
Yeah, her finisher was pretty good. Although I will say this about her, she wasn't what I was expecting. The way that they were showing her.
They're never exactly what you're expecting.
Well, no, I mean,
Bobby Roode wasn't exactly what you're expecting.
Well, no, I'm saying, okay, you got. Okay, Ember Moon's whole build up. They showed you this this
right?
red moon. And she's wearing the ninja mask and red eyes, and you're thinking oh, this bitch is gonna be coming out all mysteriously and looking scary looking or some shit, maybe a female Finn Balor or Undertaker, something like that, something along those lines. I don't know. I wasn't expecting her to rip the mask off and be wow, jumping around and shit. And I was like, okay. I mean, I'm not gonna knock her. I'm just saying that's not what I was expecting. I loved the colored contacts though. I thought that was really cool.
Right.
I'm interested to see where they go with her.
Billie Kay did pretty good in that match too.
Yeah, I mean the match wasn't bad at all. I mean it wasn't the best match I've ever seen, but in terms of the showing of the two, with one being a debuting and one being an up and comer, it was decent. I mean I'd probably just give it a 3 out of 5 though.
Right.
You think?
Yeah. 3.5.
Yeah, 3.5 out of 5 maybe. Yeah. So then after that we went into the tag team match.
One of the matches of the night.
Exactly. The Revival versus Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. Honestly, we called that wrong. Well, I called that wrong in a big way.
Yeah.
I seriously thought Gargano and Ciampa... Well, I knew... What happened was, I was thinking it was going to be Tommaso and Ciampa. And then, right beforehand, it kind of dawned on me. I was
No. You thought it was going to be the Revival. And
that's right. Yeah, that's how it was.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be the Revival. But then, right beforehand, I was like, they haven't really showcased the Revival on much of anything. And most of the time, that means that they're going to drop those belts.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe it's going to be Tommaso and Gargano.
If they get another chance at it, it's theirs.
Well, yeah, that's a big possibility. I know that...
They didn't turn.
Yeah, they didn't turn, and I know that when they lost it, and in case you guys didn't recognize by the way we're talking about it, Gargano and Ciampa, they did lose. I'll buy it a little bit. It wasn't really controversial, but it was kind of fucked up. The ref, I think, either forgot what he was doing or just legitimately didn't see the foot on the rope, but. For those who didn't watch Takeover, definitely one of the matches of the night, if not the match of the night.
Yeah.
It was very, very eventful. Great showing from both teams. The Revival retains, and surprisingly, Gargano and Ciampa did not turn on each other. And we were waiting at the end. We were like, a gun's gonna go off. It's gonna happen any minute, and it didn't happen. So I mean, that was very surprising. So then we went from that into the debut of Bobby Roode versus CN. All right, so this match actually had us guessing for a sec, because we walked in, and I remember the podcast yesterday that we posted. We were like, Roode's got it. Roode's got it. And we were like, he's got it. And then in like the middle of that, like fucking, I forget what CN did, but he did a move and slammed Rude down, and we were both like, oh shit, like, is that it?
Yeah.
And it was like 1, 2, and it, like, I mean, it had to have been a fraction of a second left, and Rude kicked out. I was like, oh shit, like, had me a little pumped up. But
Rude's entrance was pretty cool too.
Yes, I found it funny that they gave him his own elevator. I was like, what the fuck? So, he made his match glorious, as he likes to say. It was very very entertaining. That match right there, honestly, I mean, I'd still give it about a 3 out of 5, 3.5 out of 5 roundabout. I mean, it wasn't like a amazing match, but it was a lot better than I was expecting. I thought it was just going to be like a
squash match.
Well, not a squash match, but like a basic
Pretty
match
close.
where Rude comes out to win.
Right.
Like they have some back and forth, and Rude gets him.
Yeah.
But no, like they made me guess.
The two debuting superstars didn't have
squash matches, right?
Yeah, or like squash matches.
Right. So then we go from that, and we go into I believe after that was the Divas match. Yeah. I think so.
Well, yeah.
I don't think I'm missing any other. So Asuka versus Bayley for the NXT Divas Championship. As I predicted, Asuka walked out of there with that championship, but not without a damn good effort from Bayley. I mean, you know, it was kind of obvious after the entrance, at least to me it was. Yeah. After the entrance, it was kind of obvious this was going to be a send-off. They had Charlotte, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch at ringside in the crowd.
And just the way that they did her entrance.
Exactly. Her entrance was so, like, enthusiastic, and she had extra wacky waving little arm flailing tube men. And, you know, she had all these extra things, and, like, I mean, she put on a fight, though. I mean, like, I actually thought she had her for a sec. When she hit that Bayley to belly, I was like, I jumped up, I was like, oh, shit. And there was a 1, 2, and Asuka kicked out. I was like, that's it. That's it. That was Bayley's shot. It's done. And I'm just thankful that they didn't make her tap or pass out again. Like they did the first time. Asuka cleanly beat her in the middle of the ring with one hell of a kick to the face. And then afterwards, she got a good send-off from the crowd.
Those Japanese don't play.
Right.
You'll hear that from me later, too.
So that honestly was probably right behind the main event on Match of the Night. I liked that Divas match. It was very, very good.
And then we get into
that match right there. Yeah, well, the Divas match, what do you think? Well, how many stars do you think you give that out of 5?
Ooh, it was a pretty good match.
Me, personally, I would have given it a 4.5.
Yeah, okay. I can agree with that.
That's me.
I could agree with that.
Now, we move on to the main event.
Mm-hmm.
And we had Samoa Joe versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the NXT Championship. And,
who was right?
Oh, shut up. Right? Yeah, I get you. Shinsuke Nakamura successfully gained the championship.
And injured Samoa Joe in the process.
Yeah, right.
Like I said, them Japanese people don't play.
Right. And you know, there is some credit to be given to Joe. He is now not only the only man to defeat the demon, but now the only man to kick out of the Kinshasa, or whatever the fuck it's called.
Kinshasa.
Yeah, no other wrestler in the WWE has kicked out of that till now.
Yeah.
He took a fucking knee to the fucking face and got back up.
I think that's what fucked his face up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for those of you who are not aware or haven't been paying attention to the internet or missed Takeover, in the process of the match, Joe, I believe, went for a muscle buster from the top rope, and whenever he did it, Shinsuke reversed it and jumped off of the thing. Yeah. Joe kind of landed on his ass, and Shinsuke ran at him full force and hit him with the Kinshasa. That's how I don't know how to pronounce the knee.
Yeah, just
okay,
stick to that.
Ran at him and clocked him, and credit to him, he continued the match.
Yeah, 1, 2, he kicked out.
He kicked out, and then the match continued for a little bit longer. They had a couple of moves.
I thought it was right after that. He went for that ring thing. That turnbuckle thing where he kicked him in the back of the head, and then he went for it again, and then 1, 2, 3.
I don't know. I know that it didn't end immediately after that though. They did a few moves and then eventually they had an exchange.
I didn't think it was known until after.
Right.
He couldn't close the jaw.
Well, they had a few moves and then finally Shinsuke managed to clock him with it again, and that was it.
Full force.
Yeah, a full force knee and knocked him right out. It was done.
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
And for those of you who haven't read on the internet, during the first running knee that Shinsuke did,
he fucked up the jaw.
We're unsure of exactly to what extent or how badly it happened, but he made contact with Samoa Joe's jaw and fucked it up somehow. Reports say that he couldn't close his jaw, he couldn't close his mouth at all.
And there was an X thrown up.
Yeah, after the match happened and Samoa Joe rolled out of the ring, reports are that some people in attendance did see the ref throw the X up, showing that there is a legitimate injury there. It hasn't been fully announced what extent or if he's going to be missing action or what's going to be happening here.
Depends on how bad it is.
Yeah, exactly.
If it's bad enough.
We'll probably find out more about it come Wednesday when NXT happens, maybe before. Yeah. If it's announced on rumor boards or on the media or something. But as of right now, we don't know if he's going to be competing in the near future or if there's an injury there that's going to make him miss action or what. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping that he's all right because Joe's one hell of a performer.
Yep.
And
yes, he is.
On top of that, I would like to see this match again.
Yeah.
A little bit better built up because now that Joe has they built this up, but they didn't build it up as well as they could have. I mean, look at all the build-up they had to Joe versus Finn. They had this huge build-up and
but that's because
everything.
They've been in matches before.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Now they've been in matches.
Right.
Okay, so now I'm hoping that they can build this up a little bit better. Maybe have some brawls outside or have
like the build-up to Asuka versus Bayley.
Exactly, like have an actual stipulation instead of just being a singles match. Make it like a fucking steel cage or a fucking last man standing or something crazy like that.
Cage. They just got through doing that.
Right. I don't know. I feel like that would be really cool.
NXT?
I don't think they've done anything like that, have they?
No.
So I mean that would be cool too. But I mean
Samoa Joe would be promoted then. That's a way to get him off of NXT and onto the main roster.
Well, end result is after his rematch,
they could go on a storyline like loser leaves NXT,
right?
Joe loses, and then he's searching on both shows on who would sign him.
Right.
They could go,
and then have both sides compete to see who's gonna get him, or each side be offering him something.
Right.
Well, thing is I
don't think so, but
yeah, I doubt they would go that way, but. I know that the one thing that I can take away from NXT is that SummerSlam has a lot to live up to. Whereas SummerSlam has more cards, more matches on the card.
Yeah. Most of the matches don't look like they're going to be that good.
Well, I mean, that's yet to be seen.
Yeah.
But it seems to be
on paper.
It's kind of like I hear this a lot. I'm not a football watcher. I watch baseball, but I hear a lot of people say that college football is better than regular football. And I also hear a lot of people say the same thing, that NXT is better than the main roster. And a lot of people say that.
I've said that a few times.
Well, a lot of people say that because these guys
have something to prove.
Yes, they have something to prove. They're trying to earn their spot. They know that they're the bottom rung of the ladder. Even as NXT champion, you're still, may be the top of the developmental brand, but you're still little fish, big fish in a small pond.
Yeah.
Like that. That's the big picture there.
You mean little fish in a big pond?
No, you're the big fish in the small pond. NXT is its own entity.
Right,
so,
I got what you meant.
Like, even when you're champion and you're at the top of the world, you still compete at A-list games so that you can show that, yes, I'm NXT champion, but I deserve to be world heavyweight champion. I deserve to face this company.
Right.
Like, so that Shinsuke, now he has the belt. Now he has to show he can carry that belt. Mm-hmm. And I'm very interested to see how they build him up to prove it.
I don't know how long he'll hold that title.
I don't know. I feel like,
now it's only a matter of time before he gets promoted.
Maybe. It's a matter of once he loses the belt is when he'll be promoted.
Yeah.
And I mean, you got to think he's a face. So you got Bobby Roode, Austin Aries, fucking.
But how many months until next year?
Next year?
Yeah.
Like 4.
Okay, so if he holds it 4 months, well, about 6 months.
Well, you got to think because they only do title matches traditionally. Every now and then they do it at NXT or at house shows. Now that we saw them do it with Balor and Joe,
every other month, every 3 months.
Exactly. So traditionally,
depending on when the next takeover is.
Exactly. So we're depending on, like we're looking at
2 to 3 months.
Well, maybe depending on how long it takes them to do a takeover.
Yeah.
Because if it's an every other month thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, like if they do a takeover every other month.
Because Kenny Omega's rumored to come there.
Right.
Then the Young Bucks. Then the Adam Cole.
Yeah, but that's all next year sometime at some point.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm saying like Shinsuke could easily hold that title all the way up into the middle of next year.
Well, I mean, look at Finn.
Exactly. I mean, so I mean, he could easily hold that title for a good amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he has opponents that he can face off against. I mean, you got Bobby Roode, you got Austin Aries. If Ciampa ends up turning on Gargano at some point, you got Ciampa.
Yeah.
You got Johnny Gargano himself, if he ever decides to go after it. There's a lot of other people that, we've seen them here or there. Like, you got that, the Drifter dude.
Oh, yeah.
He's a heel. You got, all these different heels.
Even face versus face.
Yeah, they could do Jose versus him. They could do a lot of different things versus him now. I mean, that's the great thing. That's why I'm happy that they went with Shinsuke instead of Joe. I personally thought they were going to prolong it for another one, but I'm not upset that it happened because now we're going to see some new talent start to be showcased on NXT and go up against Shinsuke. And it's like now it's a really big deal because every takeover is going to have like this big thing where Asuka and Shinsuke, neither one have been beaten since they debuted in NXT.
Yeah. And
so
both
now,
of them are Japanese.
Right. Well, now both of them are going to have to not only defend their championships, but defend their undefeated streaks.
Right.
So every match they're in is going to be like one of those, like, oh, shit. Is this going to be the person to beat him? Oh, shit.
Right.
So, needless to say, all in all, SummerSlam has a lot to live up to tonight. Hopefully they can really deliver. I have very high hopes for the Finn Balor-Seth Rollins match. The Ambrose and Ziggler match ought to be amazing. The Orton and Lesnar match with the possibility of Goldberg getting involved could be a very big deal. I mean, it's shaping up to be a good one. I'm hoping WWE doesn't drop the ball and make it predictable as fuck. Like they do tend to do sometimes.
Well, another thing that I liked about TakeOver is they got the predictable ones out of the way.
Exactly.
And they even made us question them.
Well, yeah, I mean, like Bayley and Asuka, like you were going into, you were still thinking Bayley was going to get that shit. You were like, Bayley's got this. Like the whole way through, and I was like, it's not going to happen for you, buddy. It's just not. Like, I knew that was gonna.
I was to Bayley what you were to Joe.
Right. Well, I mean, that's just it, though. I knew Joe wasn't going to beat Shinsuke. I knew that was not going to happen.
You thought he was gonna walk out.
He was gonna like double count out, disqualification, something stupid, and Joe walks out with the championship. But all in all, I'd give the pay-per-view probably about a 4.5 out of 5. It was pretty damn good. I mean, it had its slow points, but all in all, it was definitely something to put the main roster on notice. And that's one of the best things about NXT is they make the main roster work harder. Because they have to prove that they deserve to be on the main roster and not on NXT. Because Vince is constantly watching. He may not have control of NXT, but he's watching that roster and he's watching these things. It wouldn't
surprise me if he was backstage.
Oh yeah, hands down.
Because when Nakamura first debuted, when Nakamura was done with his match and went to the back, Vince was the first one to talk to him.
Exactly.
The first one.
But I mean, like, that's something that a lot of the main roster guys tend to do. Like, see, unlike.
Well, no, I think NXT is helping the main roster.
Well, yeah, because
they're like, shit. Well, these guys are doing better than we can. No.
Well, yeah, and I mean, it also puts notice, like, that's why you see a lot of the NXT wrestlers moving up into, like, the main slots, whereas the guys who've been on the main roster since before NXT became a big thing are still on the mid-card, because these NXT guys have proven that they work their asses off. But they also know that if they become complacent and they become lazy and they start doing things sloppily and fucked up, they can wind their asses right back up on NXT or drop down to the mid-card.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you see, that's why I can constantly say that when Kevin Owens is in a match, I know it's going to be at least a damn good match at some point. Like, it's going to be fairly fucking good.
Yeah.
When Sami Zayn is in a match, I know it's going to be pretty fucking good.
Right, yeah.
Finn Balor in a match, I know it's gonna be fucking good. Like, you got, like, these NXT wrestlers they're hungry because they know they're new, they know they have something to prove, and last night showed that like all these guys are a force to be reckoned with in this company, and they really need to get their main roster guys to step it up a notch.
You could even add Seth and Dean to that list, and Roman Reigns even. And
Bray Wyatt, I mean, if you wanted to add all of them, they were on NXT. I mean, that was before it became big, but they...
Well, Bray, yes, but I mean, Seth was the first NXT champion.
Right. I don't know. I know that it's going to be very, very... it's going to be very good to see what happens on NXT on Wednesday. There's going to be fallout. As long as Joe is able to compete, there's going to be some fucking fallout.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be a rematch at the next Takeover, again, if Joe is able to compete.
Yep.
And,
yeah, most definitely.
After that, we'll get to see a little bit of, what's going to happen now. Who's going to go after Shinsuke next. Because that rematch, Joe's not going to win that rematch. He's just not going to have it for him.
No.
So... Anyway,
but hopefully it's a good match.
Yeah, hopefully. So, without further ado, that is our results podcast special. It's going to be up hopefully within the next couple.
Special.
We're hoping, if time allows, to have another one of these results specials tomorrow. We're going to record it and try and get it up tomorrow. For those of you who don't have the network or wasn't able to watch it, like, I know that my dad, he doesn't have the network and he just watches the main shows. He doesn't watch the pay-per-views. Right. So it'll be interesting to see what happens tonight. But those are your results for NXT TakeOver Brooklyn and our thoughts on it. Hopefully y'all enjoy SummerSlam tonight and y'all have a good weekend. Thanks for tuning in.